Hey guys, Master is back with some Destiny for you today, and I thought I would go over some of the features and additions in the latest patch they just released for the game. A lot of really cool features, a lot of things that were added that have been requested for a long time, so I'll talk a little bit about it and see if we can go over some of it. So we're in the tower now, of course, and the first one was you can either speak to the Crucible Quartermaster or the Vanguard Quartermaster, and you can now purchase upgrade materials. So the Crucible Quartermaster will take Crucible marks, and if you go to the Vanguard Quartermaster, who is in the shipyard, he will accept Vanguard marks, and you can now purchase upgrade materials. Bit of an issue that you can't now farm the materials and then trade them in for Crucible marks, which is something a lot of people like to do because they didn't want to play any competitive multiplayer. They didn't want to do Crucible, so they could actually rank up and get their Crucible points marks and then buy items. But now you can't do it, so I don't know. This is a cool feature, but I'd like maybe the option to trade them in as well at the bottom here. Maybe that'll be something added in the future, but you can see it's 10 marks per 20 stack of material. So if you've got 3 characters and all 3 characters have maxed out marks, you can really stack up on your materials. You can buy quite a lot. So that is the first feature. Quite nice. And it is something that a lot of people have been crying out for because they hated doing farming loops or chest loops trying to actually get materials. Now, the next thing, I'll actually show you when I turn in this bounty. They added materials as a reward to the patrol bounties. So if you actually do the 6 missions on the moon, 6 missions on Venus, 6 missions Mars, Cosmodrome, wherever, you'll get 10 of the upgrade materials associated with that planet, which is really cool. So let's turn the moon in. So we get 10 helium filaments for that, which is quite a nice little addition there. If we turn in Venus, we get 10 spirit blooms. So that gives you another incentive to actually go out and do the 6 patrol missions on the respective planet to get a little bit more. So 10 isn't bad. They probably could double that. I think it'd give you a bit more, but 10 is still quite reasonable. I don't know if I've got one there. No, if you look at the bounty, when you actually go to pick it up, the patrol one, it'll actually have the reward listed underneath it and tell you what you're getting. So that is a subtle little feature, but that is quite cool. Now we see we've got an upgrade unlocked there. So the Mythoclast, I've been trying to get this Mythoclast upgraded. What they've done now is they've boosted the attack rating of the Mythoclast to 325 now, I think it is. 323, sorry. So you can now go over 300 attack damage with the Mythoclast. It is, I believe, the only weapon in the game currently that has an attack value over 300. So 323, absolute monster of a weapon. And there is a plethora of weapons that they've actually changed. They've buffed a lot of the exotics. So just quickly looking, we've got Thorn, Bad Juju, Hard Light, Suros Regime, the Monte Carlo, Mitre Multi-Tool, Hawk Moon, Red Death, Plan C, Pocket Infinity, Vex Mythoclast, Invective, Icebreaker, Patience and Time, Super Good Advice, and The Truth. All of those weapons were fairly severely changed in this patch. A lot of them got very, very good buffs. A lot of them just got tweaks to make them a little more usable. Some of them were actually nerfed, like the Suros, which was just way too powerful at range. But you can actually have a look at this list if you're interested, and I'll put a link in the description. But they really did do some changes there. But speaking of upgrading exotics, there's something in the game now that initially I thought, yeah, that's pretty cool, but now I'm thinking it could cause problems. So what they've done is for exotics, see if I can just get a blank exotic and I'll show you. You get to see the Vault of Destiny. So let's pull out this Suros. Alright, so we've got a Suros there. Now, you can see with this now, the upgrades no longer use any ascendant materials. So you can upgrade your exotic just using the upgrade materials. So you no longer need ascendant energy to upgrade your exotics, which is interesting. But what they have done is the very final node requires a thing called an exotic shard. So you'll need one exotic shard at the end to completely upgrade an exotic weapon or an exotic piece of armor. The problem with this is there's only 2 places to get these exotic shards. You can dismantle an exotic to get an exotic shard, or you can buy them from Xur, and they will cost you 7 coins each. Now, the problem with this, I see, is that if you were really wanting to get to, say, level 30 and you needed that last upgrade, you could very well be stuck until Xur turns up. So if it was the start of the week and Xur had just left and you needed an exotic shard, the only way to get it is to basically dismantle an exotic. So exotics aren't easy to get. The only way you can get them is randomly or through a bounty. So I think a lot more people are going to be doing the exotic bounties now just to get them to dismantle them. But that's the only problem I was seeing is that, yeah, you there's no other way to get the shard. There's no confirmation that they're going to drop from Nightfall. There's no information whether they're just a random drop, because they are an exotic class item, the exotic shard. So I don't know how I feel about that. It's going to be interesting. But yeah, right now, to fully upgrade an exotic piece of armor or an exotic weapon, you need a single exotic shard. And we actually need to do that because we've got an armamentarium here. And you see the final upgrade just requires plasteel plating and exotic shard. So your ascendant shards now are only used for legendary items. You don't use ascendant shards for exotics at all. They're only for legendaries. So don't get rid of your shards. Don't think you don't need them. You definitely need them. So if you've got raid gear is legendary class item stuff, so you will still need the shards. But what we need is an exotic shard to upgrade this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to melt this Suros down and see what we get. Hopefully, I don't know whether you can get multiples or whether it's just 1 shard per. So that gave us 4 weapon parts and a single exotic shard. So let's see if we can look at this lad here. A remnant that almost seems to have a life of its own can be used to unlock the full power of exotic gear. So that's an exotic shard there. Like I said, I don't know whether you can get multiples from a dismantle. Maybe you could get multiples if you dismantled an upgraded exotic. I'm not entirely sure, but see what I mean? Like that is going to be difficult. If you need those shards to upgrade your gear, it's going to make it a little tougher. So bang, easy come, easy go. But now we got a fully upgraded armamentarium. As far as what else has been added, there is a few more fixes. So we actually did the hard raid earlier, just after the patch was released, and we didn't seem to have any issues with it. So they apparently fixed the bug where Atheon wouldn't teleport the correct amount of players into the portals at the end. They've also fixed the Templar, so you can no longer knock the Templar off the edge. But if you know how to do that and you have a fairly strong team, you don't need to knock him off the edge. You can kill him very, very quickly, provided people have some max heavies or some max snipers, and you just unload on him and block all of the teleports. You can still get the chest. What else has been added? So the vendor's been changed. Cryptarch reputation is now lower when you hand in engrams, so it's going to be harder to rank up in your Cryptarch, but you get an increased chance of getting legendaries from Cryptarch packages now, so there's like a trade-off there between the two. But I think that's about it. That's about the major differences now. So the Mythic class, now over 300 attack damage at 323. You also have the new upgrade scheme that requires an exotic shard for the very, very last upgrade on an exotic item, such as like a weapon or an armor piece. Don't know how I feel about that. Maybe tough. 7 coins to buy 1 shard. You're gonna have to start saving your coins doing them weeklies. I think that's about it. They're about the major ones. Few more bug fixes, things like that. You can now get materials dropping from the daily heroic story missions as well, depending on where it is. And that is about it. Oh, they also fixed the one that a lot of people hated, and I had it happen before because I'm leveling up Dead Orbit. You used to actually level up Dead Orbit or whatever faction you were with, and if you turned in enough and leveled up, you would get the reward package from them. And sometimes you would actually get another one of these class items in it, which was really annoying that would take up your legendary. What they've done now is they've got rid of those, so you won't get these, but instead you will actually get like an emblem. So you can get emblems from the faction packages now when you level up. So it is good they took away the class items. It would have been nice if they added shaders rather than these, but I suppose it is a fix nonetheless. But anyway, that's about it. Let me know what you think. If you're still playing Destiny, if you're still loving it, I think this patch is great. Big step in the right direction, definitely. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and until the next video, we'll see you later.